Hey YouTube, welcome back. TheDungeonMattster here. Episode 21. Hey, I got it right this time. We're going to review these Amazon trees. Cheap, affordable, but are they good for your table? Stick around. We'll find out right after the break. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. Getting right into it. We got several different types of tree here, and some of them were decent. Some of them had, a decent amount of flock on them. Some of them were decent quality, and some of them they were a little bit odd. These first few that I'm pulling out, these are the pine trees, and these were actually the best of the batch. They had the best looking flock, in my opinion. They had the most even coverage, in my opinion, and they looked better on the table than the others. They looked a lot more realistic. This is one of the large deciduous trees that comes with the set, and it's flocked in this weird, it's almost like a grass mat for like a patio, the same kind of fake grass, and it was really it was a strange material. I'd never seen that used in this kind of context before. I imagine that it was a cost issue, that it was because it was cheap. As of the time of recording this, there's 40 trees in this set, and it's $12.99 on Amazon. And if you're interested, I'll leave an affiliate link below. But my opinion, there may be some better options. If you like, you can search for them. This is just the set that I got. My brother-in-law gave me these for Christmas, and I haven't yet used them in anything, but these needed a little bit of upgrading. We've got medium trees, deciduous trees. There was a number of these, 8 I think, and the flock on them was a little bit better than the grass turf. It was kind of like the medium grade, but they were this horrific, like very light green, and the camera doesn't capture well, but it's almost like a neon green. It was way too bright, and they needed dulling down significantly. I feel like I could have made a better set myself, just buying some Woodland Scenics armatures and flocking them. But for the price, I mean, these really can't be beat for the price. There's more of the terrain, the grass turf from somebody took their grass mat from their patio and put it in a shredder and then just dunked these trees in it. It's really strange. I don't know, I've never seen that before, so it was really strange to me. And more of the pine trees here. We have the large pines. Now it's weird. Okay, so the large pines, the medium pines, and the small pines were all done really well in the same color flock, the same type of flock. I really liked those. Those are the jewel of the set, and I would have paid $12.99 just for that set. To be honest with you, they were worth that to me. They looked well. I actually didn't do anything to those. They looked good enough to me. For the size, they were a decent scale. They'd translate well to a piece of terrain or something. And I felt like I could use those. Now, then there's the medium deciduous trees, which are the odd ones. I don't know why they didn't do them in the same kind of pattern, like the grass turf. It was a little strange to me, because the pine trees were all done in the same kind of turf. The green, dark green foam, kind of. And the others were done in the grass turf. And then there's these medium deciduous trees on the lower right there that are done in that bright green foam. Like, why? It didn't make any sense to me. You can see the armatures are fairly decent on these. They look just a good coloring they had to them. They have a good texture. They look they got a good grain on them. Like I said, they're flocked really well. There's no need to do anything to the pines. I stick those back in the bag and move on. You can see here all the trees you get with the set. It's a lot. Those trees are all the, those are all the grass turf. Those in the middle, those are the green foam, and these on the left, I don't need to do anything to these. So we're gonna take these and set them aside. Those are the best of the batch. Those are okay. Those are terrible in the middle. I really hate that color. It's really just, I don't know, it's offensive to me for some reason. It seems like there's no tree that looks that bright. There's got to be some variation to it or something. I don't know. I don't know. So I started picking off the foam. I started taking it off and shaking off the excess. That was one of the other things that I noticed about a few of these trees, especially on these. The pines, not so much. Actually, the pines, the foam was stuck to them really well. I didn't have any issues with them falling apart. These, however, you can see I'm pulling bits off, but some of the stuff, like actually a good deal of it from these medium-sized foam trees, it just fell right off. So you can see here I got a good pile going from the stuff that I was taking off of them. I decided I was going to reflock these, at least add flock to them to make them look a little bit more, to have a little bit more variance, to look a little better. I separated the flocks and I saved it, and because I might end up using it at some point, even though the color was awful, I might mix it with something else. So, and I did the same thing for the grass turf trees. I'm just pulling them apart a little bit and shaking off the excess. I didn't get too much from those. Those were actually glued on okay. I didn't worry about the flock falling off so much on those. So I grabbed my spray glue, my good old Gorilla adhesive. This stuff is tough. It's really sticky. I don't recommend spraying it indoors, but it was probably 20 degrees out when I filmed this, and I really didn't want to go outside. So just use appropriate protection and put some ventilation on, and you'll be fine. Wear a face mask or something so you don't breathe in the fumes. And the fumes from this stuff isn't really all that bad. It gets everywhere. So I put a backdrop up. I made a spray booth using some foam core so that the overspray wouldn't get all over my table. So I just dusted them with some spray glue and then sprinkled some flock on. And I used a bin to catch the flock so that I could save the excess, so that I wouldn't have to waste any of it. And this actually worked really well. This actually gave new life to these trees. It made them look a lot better, in my opinion. Took these cheap trees and using some stuff that I already had, I upgraded them, which I think is just, I think it's just mint, just for the amount. Again, I'm gonna stress this: 40 trees, 40 of them for $12. I don't think I'll ever use all of these unless I do a big board, and I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. So a couple of these I actually did twice. I did some of them with a fine Woodland Scenics foamish flock, and some of them I did with a coarse turf that I made from tea leaves and sawdust. And you can see the difference here from the bare original, and on the right, the coarse flock. And in this next shot, I'll show you the difference between the coarse flock and the fine turf that I used to flock them in. And they actually came out looking pretty alright. I actually like these now. The color variance helped quite a bit. And I mean, I could have even done another coat on those and had them come out even better, but I just settled for that, and I think they looked good enough for my needs. Even the smaller trees, they came out pretty decent too. So whether you're new to the hobby or an experienced player, you can get a benefit from these cheap trees. And cheap isn't just price. These are not the best quality trees. They're just not. But the work, for the little bit of work that I put into these to make them just a little bit higher quality, just using a little bit of flock and some spray glue, turned them from crappy trees into, you know, moderately passable trees. And I can definitely use these in an upcoming project now without feeling like they're going to be just out of place on my table. That being said, if you'd like to purchase a set of these trees for yourself, hit the affiliate link down in the description below, and a little bit of the portion of the sale will go to help support the channel. If you like these videos and you want to keep seeing them be made, head on over to Patreon and consider becoming a supporter. Getting some good feedback from my patrons over there, as well as this month's poll being up. So if you want to vote in the poll, head on over and become a subscriber over there. Also, don't forget to hit the like button below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification icon so you can see when I post new content. If you guys found something cheap that you use around the table online, maybe you modified something, let me know in the comments below. DungeonMattster out. Peace.